Well, Chris Popper here. I'm in the Chief's office at the Ellsworth Police Department, joined by Chief Bickmore. And Chief, congratulations, welcome. You've now been on job for, I guess, about a month, six weeks or so?
Yeah, right around that time.
You were a former FBI agent. What made you want to come to Ellsworth?
Well, I grew up in Cumberland. I was a Scarborough police officer for 6 years. Started off as a reserve officer. Worked there for 2 summers. Went on full time, and I went in the FBI in '87. And when I left Scarborough and went to the bureau, I always said someday I'd like to go back to Maine and be a police chief. I used to come up here when I worked for a company when I was in high school, and I always liked this area. I was in the state police drug unit for a year and worked some cases up in this area with the state police drug unit and DEA, federal DEA, and I always thought it was a cool area, and here I am.
It's a nice area. Where were you based as an FBI agent?
Let's see, I was in Newark, New Jersey, Providence, Rhode Island, Boston, Cleveland, DC 3 different times.
Oh, wow.
And I did a tour over in Baghdad in Iraq for 5 months in 2008.
Oh, wow.
Working terrorism.
So hopefully you won't need any of that here in Ellsworth.
Well, it's hopefully you're right, but we all have to be vigilant, and you never know what's going to happen anywhere, and you have to be prepared for that 0.1%, all of public safety, police, fire, and that's what we train for, and that's what we try to prepare for, not just, answering the calls. You have to be ready for things that could happen, and you never know. People always ask me, where is something going to happen? And I'm like, well, if I had a crystal ball, I'd probably wouldn't need to be working because I could predict the future.
If you know what the Powerball numbers are, just let me know, all right?
Exactly.
We've got a big drug problem here, not in Maine, in down east area, in Hancock County. What do you see? Obviously in 6 weeks you don't have all the answers, but what do we do to address it?
Well, you're hitting it right on the head. It's definitely an issue, a problem. It's epidemic all over the country, not just in Hancock County or in Maine. They're having the same problems out in Ohio and different states around the country. But I've only been here a few weeks, but I've been in collaboration with the state drug unit, the Maine DEA, our own department within the department, talking to the officers and our detective Dottie Small and Lieutenant Page and other counselors, and definitely a problem. We've had 4 overdoses that have resulted in death with suspected heroin. I don't know if we have the toxicology reports back yet from all of them, but 4 people have passed away from overdoses. So definitely something that have on the radar. You asked me, what I'm going to do about it. Well, I want to try to help these people that are addicted, try to rescue them, get them into programs. I've been talking to the Scarborough Police Department. They're doing a operation down there that's been very successful.
Is that the one where you come in and you need help, and we're gonna help you?
Yes, and I've briefed the city council on that in the last few days, and had unanimous support to move forward with that. So bottom line is I want to try to get people help and rescue them, get them into treatment, and also be very, very aggressive with the traffickers who are bringing the stuff into the state and into Ellsworth and Hancock County. Work with the state drug unit, the sheriff's department, and all our other law enforcement partners.
Unfortunately, this time of the year, or fortunately, I guess, there's so many tourists coming into the area. Traffic's increased, and that then lets people from, it always seems that they're from New York or Connecticut, where the drugs are just flowing into Maine, and they can blend right in during this time of the year.
Well, it's definitely a challenge for law enforcement from all the different agencies. You know, I talked to the state police. They have the same issues, the sheriff's department, and all the other municipal police chiefs who I've met in Hancock County out on the island.
Yeah.
Chief Willis. And so, you know, that's why we all have to work together. You can't work in a vacuum. And it's a, you know, it's not just a police problem. It's a you know, city problem, and a, you know,
It's a community problem. It's a state problem.
That's the word I was looking for, a community problem. So we all have to work together on it.
I know Bangor last night approved police officers carrying Narcan.
Yeah.
Is that something you're looking at doing? I mean, I know that's controversial within the state. I mean, to me, police officers are one of the first responders there, and often have the best chance of letting someone survive with a shot of Narcan.
Well, it's something that I've definitely have on my radar, and definitely something that if it'll help save someone, I'm all for it. And without getting into the politics of anything, because I'm not a doctor,
Right.
I know it's worked well in other police departments, and other police departments are using it. Our police are out on the street, and this is a big city. It's 95 square miles. I know it's one of the biggest cities in towns in the state of Maine. So definitely in the last few weeks, I know that they used a Narcan on, am I pronouncing it right?
Narcan, yeah.
Narcan on an individual who had overdosed in the parking lot at the Walmart. And the person, I think, was deceased, and they brought him back.
Yeah, it's an amazing drug. You talk about Ellsworth being one of the biggest cities. The population swells. I mean, you have a police force that's adequate maybe for 7 months out of the year, but for the 5 months of the summer months and during the daytime when everybody's traveling through, you're undermanned.
Well, it's definitely a challenge, and something that I have to look at with the city manager and the city council and the men and women of the department, because I depend on them, because they've worked here for a long time and they've been boots on the ground and they know the city better than I do, so I value their opinions. But, you know, something that's, you know, manpower is always an issue in no matter what size department you are or wherever you are, but it's the city population swells during the day. People work here in Ellsworth, and then of course, like you're talking about with the summer population, it's definitely an issue for the department, and something that, you know, we're always having to look at, and you have to balance it with the budget and everything like that.
It's a tough issue. There's no, I mean, because at the same time, everybody wants a safe community, police officers, visible police officers in the school, and at the same time, they don't want their taxes to increase.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of a balancing act, I guess, because, hey, who wants their taxes to go up?
Right.
I mean, I don't think there's anybody on the city council that wants to raise taxes either, and but they also want to be able to provide, you know, business, you know, proper public safety protection, and they want to be able to attract businesses to come here, and businesses probably wouldn't come here unless they knew that we had good public safety and good schools and things like that.
Right. What, if you had to name your top 3 priorities, what would they be?
Well,
I'm putting you on the spot, I know that. So,
well, I would certainly say the opiate problem, drug problem in the city of Ellsworth, and you can't just look at it for the city of Ellsworth. I've got to be talking to the chief in Bangor and the sheriff's department and the Maine DEA, and because it's a area problem and not just isolated to Ellsworth. And we have to share intelligence, do a good job, but to get these traffickers off the street and put them where they need to be. But also we have to try to rescue these addicts who are sick and need help, and they have severe addiction, and try to get them the resources that we can. And that's why I talked about Scarborough and what they're doing down south. And it's working, and they're doing a really good job. The chief down there, Rob Moulton, has talked to me several times, and hey, if it's working there, I know it could work up here.
Right.
Domestic violence is always a top priority, protecting our senior citizens and protecting our youth. Working with the school department and protecting our children. It's those are probably, I think I said 4, but those would be my top priorities.
Yeah, good ones.
and I'll just add, another top priority for me is the men and women of the department, and making sure they have the training they need, and I want them to be a source of pride for the whole community and the whole county. We have a great police department here. The men and women are really dedicated, and you know, I've got their back.
That's great. We started this Meet the Police Officer program with Chief Coleman, and then with his departure, we kind of let it slide. But under you, we're going to start getting back and and chatting with all the men and women of the police department.
If you can get them on camera, yeah.
We could do that. All right. Yeah. Anything last words you want to say? Camera's yours.
Well, I appreciate you being here today, and I look forward to getting out in the community. I'm out just about every day. I go out and walk around. I try to drop into the businesses, and want to have a good relationship with our customers, the public, the citizens, and anytime you want to stop by, you're welcome to come by.
All right. Chief's here. City Hall, the police department. Stop on in, and the best thing to do is to call, make sure he's here. And
probably a good idea.
Yeah, good idea. That's it. Thanks for watching this video. Check out all the other Meet the Ellsworth Police Department videos we have on the WDEA YouTube channel.